Good evening, and welcome to our annual Burning Bowl service. Happy, blessed New Year. We begin with lighting the Christ candle, which in unity means lighting the light of the Christ, of the divine light in each one of us. And we ring the bowl because I read many decades ago that ringing the bowl brings us back to the present. So I invite you, as I ring the bowl, to take a nice deep breath. And be here now. Today's reading, our affirmation is, my peaceful consciousness helps build a peaceful world. And let's breathe into that for a moment. My peaceful consciousness helps build a peaceful world. So let's feel the peace in this room. And as the new year approaches, I affirm with all the world's people that sustainable peace in the world is unfolding. Peace begins with me. I look within my consciousness, inviting any negative thoughts or feelings toward any culture or person to be healed through the power of divine love. Even if unkind words or actions are directed toward me or people like me, I remain steadfast and centered in peace. I am like a gentle fountain. Peace flows through me. My words and thoughts are harmonious. In all my pursuits, whether humble or grand, I promote understanding that honors and celebrates the rich diversity of the human family. And from Micah chapter 4, verse 3, they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. And so let's take another deep breath, if you will, settling into this sacred space, and the sacred space in this room, and in our hearts and in our minds. as we prepare to release, to let go, and to invite creation, to invite a vision into our lives tonight. So we allow ourselves to be open, receptive, and responsive to what Spirit would have for us right here and right now, open to all the blessings of this New Year's Eve and of the new year to come. My peaceful consciousness helps build a peaceful world. And so it is. Amen. And happy almost New Year, and welcome to Unity of Stuart, and welcome to everyone here in the sanctuary tonight, and welcome to everybody who is online with us today. And let us affirm our affirmation together. I don't know if you can see this online. Our camera operator is working a double shift at the restaurant tonight, and so I'll repeat it first, and then we can affirm it together. And Jerry just tells me it's on the screen. So, together. My peaceful consciousness helps build a peaceful world. And again, a deep breath. Trying to feel what that would be like if you were responsible, only you are responsible for a peaceful world by the right of your consciousness. And so we embody peace. And we affirm one more time together. My peaceful consciousness helps build a peaceful world. And so it is. Amen. And once more, welcome to everybody who's in the sanctuary, everybody who is online. Let's see who is online. We have Julia and Barb. Hi, Happy New Year. Joe, good to see you online. Kenny, hey Kenny, I hope you got home. I guess you must have gotten home well and safely. And it's good to see you all online and good to see you all in the sanctuary. So here in Unity, especially if you're here for the first time, we believe in original blessing. We are made in the image and likeness of God, of Spirit, and that simply means we are made in the image and likeness of love and light. And so when we talk about God, when we talk about the Lord, we're talking about just that, love and light, recognizing that that's our birthright. And so we have that divine light in each one of us. We each embody that divine light. So whenever we talk about a God that seems like a God outside of us, that's never what I'm talking about. I'm always talking about the divinity within us. We are heirs to that. And so once again, welcome. So glad you're here. If you're new and you'd like a welcome packet, you can pick one up on the way out. So that, thank you, Scott, for being at the ready. So you can pick one out. And also, if anybody in the sanctuary would like to bring a welcome packet to someone that you know, feel free to take one on the way out. Just a couple of announcements I'd like you all to know about. Tomorrow we have another special service, and that is our regular Sunday service, and that is the White Stone service. We do this every year on the heels of the Burning Bowl, and the White Stone service comes out of the book of Revelation, and we metaphysically interpret a passage of the book of Revelation, and everybody gets a white stone, and we have an extended meditation and where you can be open, receptive, and responsive to what Spirit would have for you in 2023. And you write that theme or that name or that word on a white stone, and that could be your anchor for the coming year. So come and join us for that if you like. We are starting our Racial Healing Handbook study. That is a 6-week class on Zoom, and that starts on February 8th to March 16th. If you are interested in that, you can, there is a little poster on the information table with a QR code on it. If you'd like to register right here and then, you can take a picture of that QR code. It will take you to the website to sign up. Alternatively, you can sign the sign-up sheet, and I'll make sure you get signed up and let you know. And starting next week, a week from tomorrow, we'll be doing a 4 Agreement series, so we invite you to join us for that as well. All right, Ray, where are you, man? Oh, yay, hi. Ray is going to get us started with the sacred part of the service with the fire, and I will facilitate the fire blessing. And so we breathe as we acknowledge the four directions. Great Spirit of light, come to me out of the east with the power of the rising sun. Let there be light in my words. Let there be light on my path that I walk. Let me remember always that you give the gift of a new day. And never let me be burdened with sorrow by not starting over again. Great Spirit of love, come to me with the power of the north. Make me courageous when the cold wind falls upon me. Give me strength and endurance for everything that is harsh, everything that hurts, everything that makes me squint. Let me move through life ready to take what comes from the north. Great life-giving Spirit, I face the west, the direction of sundown. Let me remember every day that the moment will come when my sun will go down. Never let me forget that I must fade into you. Give me a beautiful color. Give me a great sky for setting, so that when it is my time to meet you, I can come with glory. And great Spirit of creation, send me the warm and soothing winds from the south. Comfort me and caress me when I am tired and cold. Unfold me like the gentle breezes that unfold the leaves on the trees. As you give to all the earth your warm, moving wind, give to me so that I may grow close to you in warmth. Man did not create the web of life. He is but a strand in it. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. And we breathe and say amen. Amen. Let me get the door for you. As Ray goes out to tend the fire for us. Oops. As you were arriving, Scott was giving out the packets of everything you need for tonight's ritual. If you did not receive one, if you'd raise your hand right now, he'll be happy to get you one. And Teresa, I see, is the only hand raised. All right. Oh, did you get one? Oh, okay, all right, good. So we're here to join in our burning bowl ritual. So here's, if you've been around me any length of time, and if you're new, there's something that you will begin to know about me if you keep coming back, is that I love ritual. And it might be a remnant of my Catholic upbringing. I love ritual, and so we are here to perform this ritual of the burning bowl. And rituals are powerful because we say they are. When we create this together as a spiritual community, we gather together in like consciousness, in open and receptive to transformation, yes? So let us just know that for ourselves tonight, that this ritual is life transforming. And when I say that, I mean it changes our mind, it transforms our mind so that we can release what needs releasing and we can bring in what needs bringing in. And thank you for that, so everybody else can be reminded to silence their cell phones. All right. So I'm wondering, you don't have to raise your hand or anything, but I wonder how many people make New Year's resolutions anymore. I think, in my life, New Year's resolutions have been very kind of amorphous. I kind of forget about them. And like the first, maybe by the end of the second week in January, I forget about resolutions. So that's not what we're about tonight. We're not about this year I'm going to do this, I'm going to accomplish this, this is my goal. We're not about that tonight. Although you might, when it comes to writing your letter to Spirit, from Spirit, you might want to put in some goals. But let's know that that's not the, it's not the most important thing about tonight. It's a fun thing. And I just was talking to somebody before the service who told me that today they read 20 years of their letters to God. And so I just want to ask you, Bobby, calling you right out. Were you surprised? Were you like, oh yeah, lots of that came true? A lot of it came true, or all of it? Yeah, all right. So 20 years of letters to God. I think that's awesome. And the truth about this year, too, in releasing 2022 is like, yes, the worst of the pandemic is over, right? For most of us, the worst of the pandemic is over, and yet we see some people in here with masks on, and it's not over. And people might wear masks for a long time in groups of people. And there are other things that have come up over this year that have nothing to do with COVID. We're moving through a tough economic time. We're moving through some government legality stuff. And so there is still, let's face it, there's always uncertainty in our world. There's always uncertainty in our world. And so what is ours to do tonight is to release that which would keep us bound to fear or bound to not moving forward with the attitude of what's the point, right? The world's a dumpster fire. We don't want to go there, right? We want to rise above. We want to rise above it and embody the light and love of Spirit as we move through tonight and our new year. I had a conversation with somebody this morning about faith. And what she said to me was she read something about, somebody said they don't, they used an expletive, which I'm not going to use, but they said they don't screw around with hope. Because if we screw around, if we think about hoping for something, we're telling ourselves there's a chance that it's not going to happen. Right? So what I said to that, it was actually a coaching client, what I said to her was, which is why instead of using the word hope, I use faith, to activate my faith, to activate my belief in Spirit, my belief in the divine blessing, and do everything from that faith. So that's what we're about. That's what we're about tonight. So the daily word tonight was about peace. And I thought it was interesting when I read that daily word for New Year's Eve. And, Unity writes the daily word and does all these daily word readings. And for them to choose that, it's usually something about like new beginnings or, starting over. And today is about peace. And I thought, well, what better thing to focus on than peace? Wayne Dyer says, peace is the result of retraining our mind to process life as it is, rather than as you think it should be. And so when I read that, what I think about it is that, and that's been my goal. In my spiritual journey, my first goal is always to be peaceful in it all, right? I'm not there yet, and that's a vision for me, to be peaceful in it all. Because if we can look at life, look at what's going on in the world or in our relationships or in our finances, and come to some space of peaceful acceptance, what's better than that? And recognizing that peaceful acceptance doesn't mean that we don't do anything to change what's happening, that we don't do anything to further more peace in the world or more justice in the world. It just means we do that from a place of faith and a place of peace. Here in our Unity teaching, we have the opportunity to let go of fear. And tonight we have the opportunity to let go of anything that doesn't serve us, to let go in consciousness, and to also let go in reality, in physical reality, if we need to. And then we'll give attention to what the new year can bring. We'll ring in the new by recognizing that this life is truly filled with blessings that are just waiting for us as we open our hearts and minds to them. Tonight we'll look at some doingness, as we do some goal setting. But let's just talk for a minute about beingness, which is what I've been talking about, and being peace, because that's where it's at. Once we're at peace and we can look at the world, we don't have to love it, we don't have to like it, and we can be at peace about it. So we get to envision the life that we want in the second part of our service tonight. And as we envision the life that we want, it turns on the energy. It turns on the connection to spirit. It turns on an alignment to spirit, an alignment to that mysterious creative vibration that's in the world. We tap into that once we begin to envision what we like to bring into our lives. Yes? Does that make sense? So it's a new year. And the first thing, in order to bring more good into our lives, is to let go, to release what isn't serving us. So we bring good into our lives. In order to bring good into our lives, we have to make room for it. So practically speaking, if you want a new wardrobe, what do you think you have to do? Clean out your closet, right? Practically speaking. If you let go of some things, it makes room for something else to come in. And similarly, when we want to do some spiritual, emotional, and mental cleansing, we want to release some of the things that may have been holding us back. Holding on to relationships that failed, a business, mistakes, injustices, wrongs, lost opportunities, sets up a block in our consciousness. When we ruminate on those things, right? When we wallow in those things, we are keeping that block up to let something new in. So take a deep breath, if you will. So some questions. Do you have some ideas about yourself or about life that are limiting you? Do you have a thought that I just can't do that? That you don't have what it takes? You're too young, you're too old, you're not educated enough, you know too much, you're too big, you're too little, you're the wrong color, you're the wrong sex, you're the wrong weight. Whatever beliefs you've bought into that do not serve you, they don't support your growth and unfoldment. Those beliefs hold us back. Remember what I said in the beginning, you are made in the image and likeness of God, the image of light and the image of love. Any limiting ideas have no validity. It's just a story. It's just a story we tell ourselves. It's not the truth of who we are. So, there's one thing that I always like to talk about when we're doing a burning bowl and releasing is about unforgiveness. When we are holding unforgiveness, we are blocking our potential. Jesus repeatedly said that you cannot pray right if you are bound to grudges, prejudices, or bitterness. So for those in the room who might be holding unforgiveness, resentment, or bitterness, I invite you to take a breath and be willing to release that tonight. And if the first thought that comes into your mind is, heck no, I invite you to be willing to be willing. It's for you. It's not for anybody else. Forgiveness can dissolve whatever stands between you and your good. It cleanses the mind, body, and relationships and opens the way for your vision. Here's a prayer you could say. I lovingly release you into the hands of Spirit, knowing that infinite intelligence shall guide us both in ways of peace, prosperity, and joy. And in a minute, I'll say that again. But I want to tell you about that. Even if you don't mean it, speak it, because it might shift something in you. All right, here it is again. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. And for as much as you can embody this, I invite you to do that. I lovingly release you into the hands of Spirit, knowing that infinite intelligence shall guide us both into ways of peace, prosperity, and joy. All right. Let's sing about it. We're going to sing I Release before we get to our burning. I am free in the Spirit. I am only here for God. So let's release and let go right here, right now in prayerful meditation. Let's give up some of those things that we've been holding that are restricting the flow of newness into our life. And I'm going to invite the band to sit down so that you can enter into this meditation as well. And now, I invite you, if you are comfortable, to close your eyes and turn within. You may wish to take 3 deep, conscious breaths, dropping your shoulders, relaxing your body as fully as you are able, wiggling your toes, maybe rolling your neck, settling into the chair. And now I invite you to ask yourself, Spirit, what do you have for me? What ideas, what resentments, what unforgiveness or opinions am I harboring that are preventing me from moving ahead? What is restricting the flow of good in and through my life? And if something has come into your mind, I invite you to ask yourself, how am I benefiting by hanging on to this? Your life is far too precious for it to continue to be blocked. It's okay to let it go, to take a step forward. I invite you to ask yourself this: what do I need to release? And as these things come up, I invite you to take out your paper and write on the paper that has the burning bowl on it those things that you would like to consign to the fire. Write it all down. If you feel stuck or you're having emotions, I invite you to take some deep breaths and to know that this is a safe space. And Spirit is willing to meet you right where you are, in love, in compassion. And I will lead us out to the fire as you are ready. I invite you to join me. What I did not say in the beginning is if you brought a journal, please don't burn that. It has happened. Just consign your paper to the fire. And just drop the paper into the bowl. Don't try to follow it with your hand, because sometimes it burns up. And also, please allow the person in front of you to have their full experience before you step up to the bowl. And so we'll go out these doors and then come back in the back door where Scott is standing and come back to your seat so we can go to the second part of this. You might want to just say a prayer over your paper as you release it into the bowl. All right, let's take one more deep breath together. And get ready to release and let go. Thank you. We're going to... before Doreen and the band play our next piece of music, I want to let you know that I prayed for each and every one of you as you were dropping what you were releasing into the bowl, and this is what I prayed. I invite you to close your eyes. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. And so it is. And I add right now, may you be free.
Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2. Sometimes life can sneak up on me. I wanna hide, I simply flee, 'cause the road looks so dark and lonely ahead. Then one day comes and I finally see the twist turns into a jubilee. No longer letting myself be misled. I am free to explore my wild side. I am free to hike to the mountaintop. I am free to hit my own stride. Keep on flying until I choose to stop. Grief arises and then it goes, casting light in some shadows. I'm up and down and moving all around. Then I see the light again, the sun and sky become my friend. I'm slowly moving on to higher ground. I am free to explore my wild side. I am free to hike to the mountaintop. I am free to hit my own stride. To keep on flying until I choose to stop. I've torn off the rearview mirror, and now I'm seeing so much clearer. Blessings fill my peaceful soul. I'm letting go of all control. I am free to explore my wild side. I am free to hike to the mountaintop. I am free to hit my own stride. To keep on flying until I choose to stop. Yeah, I am free.
So that was Doreen Pariba, and behind her, Julia Vidable and Roberta Scott, and we have Tracy Walters. You'll hear from him in a little while. We have Jen Erickson and Don Rowell and Chuck Chase on the drums. Thank you, thank you. So, you feeling a little more free? Yeah. It's funny, as I was writing my list, I was like, okay, what do I need to release? What do I need to release? And I wrote regret down there, and then I also started the list with regret. So apparently I needed to release regret twice. So it's all good. So this next portion is about bringing in, co-creating with Spirit what we want to bring into our lives in 2023. So we're making the plan for next year, right? Because when we make a vision, it is much more likely that we will bring it into our lives when we envision. So we are claiming our good. We are co-creating with Spirit. And today, we could look for a short-term vision, a short-term goal, and take the baby steps, right? I can't remember the Japanese name for it, but I haven't got on my my treadmill for about a month and a half now. And I had for a year and a half, I had a very good routine going. So my schedule went away, blah, 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 and I just haven't got it back on my treadmill. And so that's one of my New Year's resolutions, to get back on my treadmill. And so I read this thing, and you might want to use this as you're thinking about your goals for the coming year. It's Japanese, it starts with a K. I'm sorry, I didn't know I was going to talk about this, so I don't know what it's called. And the woman, it was on TikTok, and the woman who was talking about it said, so it's a Japanese practice where you do the smallest possible thing, literally a minute thing, in service of your goal. So she was talking about she wanted to go back to playing the piano. So she said, the first day, I'm just going to sit on the bench. And that's all I'm going to do. The easiest thing you could possibly do in service to your goal. I'm just going to sit on the bench. And the second day, what I'm going to do is I am going to play one note. And then the next day, I'll see if I can play a measure. And you get it, right? So when you start thinking about goals that you want, I invite you to think about it if it works for you in those terms. It doesn't have to be the huge goal right here and right now. Like, tomorrow, I'm going to clean my entire house from top to bottom. You know that's not going to happen. Well, maybe it'll happen for you. It'll never happen for me. So try to keep it in a way that you can work up to that goal if that's something for you. So tomorrow morning, well, maybe not tomorrow morning because I have church, but Monday morning, I'm going to put on my Lycra and get ready to exercise. I may step on the treadmill or get on the exercise bike. I may not, but at least I'm going to dress for it. So that's just a little tip that came to my mind. So the point is, we can't possibly, in this time that we have together, make a comprehensive life plan. You know, that's not what we're here about. So, what I hope, did I say something about hope before? What I have faith in for you is that you will get thinking about what you want to bring into your life. And writing that down on the paper will support you in being able to live awake to it, to live consciously to it, so that you can take the steps to get there. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right, so instead of thinking about a goal, instead of putting a goal out there, thinking you have to strive to reach it, shift your thinking, shift your perspective, to feel yourself drawn to something that might be unrealized right now. Open to what Spirit would have for you. So when we begin to write those letters to God, from God, whatever that works for you, to Spirit, to Buddha, to Krishna, to whatever, then think about being led by that and not just what we think our human self wants, yes? So be engaged in that process of accepting your good. And you may not even know what that is right now. And it could be on your letter, you say, I am ready to accept my good, or something like that. You are creative and powerful right here where you sit, right there where you sit. You are creative and powerful. And so All we have to do is to be open and awake to what Spirit has for us. So we're doing it consciously, we're doing it realistically. And realistically means goals that you can mentally accept. Right? So if you have a goal that says, oh, I want to make $150,000 this year, or $1 million this year. If you feel like that's a pipe dream, that's not going to work because you don't really believe in it. Right? So something that you can accept, that you can embody, that you can ingest and believe the truth of it. What you can accept for yourself, what you can believe in for yourself is much more likely to happen in your life. So what can you believe? What do you want? And let's take another moment or two in meditation. And 3 deep breaths, if you will. Settling back into that conscious connection with Spirit, with intuition, with good. And I invite you to allow the words you are about to hear to become your own. I am deeply blessed. I am deeply blessed. My good is right here, right where I am. I open my heart to the guidance of Spirit, to the gifts of Spirit. And I live my life in alignment with the outcome I desire. Throughout this coming year, I allow myself to receive all of the blessings of God, of good. I am open and receptive right now and throughout the year to Spirit's vision and guidance. And just for a few moments in the silence, be open and listen for guidance. And you may wish to ask yourself, what do I want? What do I want to co-create with Spirit? What is it, even though it might stretch me? Can I believe in? What can I accept? What can I confidently expect? In the various areas of my life, what is there for me to experience? What is beckoning me? Earlier, you let go of some things, and now the path has been made clear. Go for it. And when you're ready, open your eyes, find your piece of paper, and start writing. keep writing if you will, and if you are done, put your paper in your envelope and address it, because we'll be asking if you desire to hand them back in, and we will mail them to you at around Thanksgiving time. And it'll be a wonderful surprise. If one of your goals is to move somewhere else, I invite you to write your name on it, and you're charged with remembering to tell us where you've moved. MC, would you help Scott when it comes time to collect? I'm going to ask Mary Claire and Scott to collect the letters from those of you who would like us to receive them and mail them back. And if you are still writing, or if you don't want to hand in your letter, that's fine. But if you're still writing, you could also give it to us at the end of the service. However, I am going to bless them after they get collected. So you're collecting letters now, MC. Okay.
Give him the mailman.
You can pass them to the aisle if you like. And these letters will stay in my office, and I will pray over them until we send them back. I think they will. What? Go ahead. All right, MC and Scott, you want to bring them up there so they can be blessed? Well, know that you are being blessed as we bless these. Or if you want to raise your hand.
Well, it's not done.
All right, well, I'll give it back to you when we're done. I'll bless it anyway. Anybody else have one they want to turn in for blessing? Okay, okay. All right. We will wait for the kids. And then, all right, hurry up now. Or I mean, take your time. I'm at peace in it. And know, for those of you at home, including you in my prayers as well. All right. Anybody else? You ready, sweetie? We good? Okay. So, it is not just me that has the power of prayer. So I'm calling on everyone in this room to co-create this sacred space of love, of light, of visioning, of completing all of the vision in these letters for the good of all, everybody at home, anybody watching this and doing this ritual in the future. It is powerful prayer, not just in me, but in all of us. So let us co-create that sacred circle of love and light. Let us see each one of us here in this room or watching radiating light. I invite you to imagine that your body is glowing right now. Glowing with the power and the presence of God, glowing with the power and presence of love, glowing with the power and presence of fulfilled dreams, fulfilled desires. And so we claim this. We claim this vision. We claim these visions are truth. Happening right here and right now, lives are being transformed. Compassion is happening, love is happening, prosperity is happening, wholeness and health is happening right here and right now. We bless all of these letters, all of these desires, all of these visions, and we turn this over into the care and keeping of God, praying in the name and nature of the indwelling Christ consciousness that resides within us all. And so it is. Amen. All right. Scott, where are you? And now it's time for our celebration of abundance, the last one of 2022. And so we invite you to take your gifts in your hands. And for those of you online and also in the room, here are some other ways. Whoops, maybe not. Anyway, those of you in the room, the baskets will be coming around shortly, and then we will be hearing from Tracy Walters with one of my absolute favorite end-of-the-year songs. And online, you'll see ways to give in the comments below. And with that, let us affirm our celebration of abundance, our love offering blessing together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give and receive always in love.
Jerry, can you hear that out there?
We sure can.
All right. Now when it's late December, dark and cold,
Where is the light?
when old man year is bending low,
Where is the light?
now when the sun runs off to bed too soon,
Where is the light?
and there's nothing left but a skinny moon.
Where is the light?
Can you tell me?
Where is the light? Where is the light? Where is the light?
Oh, the light's inside of me. When it's dark each morning when I rise,
Where is the light?
when it's dark and my eggs are frying,
Where is the light?
and it's dark when I go off to work,
Where is the light?
and it's dark again when I get home.
Where is the light?
Can you tell me
Where is the light? Where is the light?
Can you tell me
Where is the light?
Oh, the light's inside of me. Now it's in my skin and in my bones, in my heart and in my soul. The light of life so bright and golden like a summer day. Now the sun goes missing in the sky, and is rising in my eyes, chasing all that winter gloom away. I'm burning bright like kerosene.
Where is the light?
I'm twinkling like the Pleiades.
Where is the light?
And I'm dancing like a candle flame.
Where is the light?
I'm flaming like a fruit flambe.
Where is the light?
Can you tell me where?
Where is the light? Where is the light?
Whoa,
Where is the light?
whoa, the light's inside of me. I said, where is the light?
Where is the light?
Can you tell me where is the light? Whoa, where the light's inside of me. Now this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, oh, let it shine. Now this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, well, I'm gonna let it shine. Well, this little light of mine, well, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Thank you, thank you. You have the power. You have the light. You have everything it takes to release and to bring into your life what you want to bring into your life. You have the power you need right here and right now, and I invite you not to forget it. You are each an expression. Oh, good Lord, I thought I was going to get through this. You are each an expression, a powerful expression of the divine, right where you are. Nothing needs to change inside of you. You have everything you need. What you need is to become awake to it, to live into it, to act like it, to claim your power, and to step forth confidently into 2023.
Yeah.
All right, final prayer. Closing our eyes, if you are willing. Infinite presence, on this last day of the year, I am at peace. And we see the world at peace. Our hearts are open, along with the hearts of all world citizens. There's no one in this world that doesn't want peace. And so we awaken to the light of our own true nature, just as the true nature of all is showing itself. Today, we are healed. Our sisters and brothers, our siblings are healed. And we are a source of healing for others. Turning this prayer over into the care and keeping of the one, I pray this in the name and the nature, the light and the love and the peace of the indwelling Christ consciousness. And so it is. Amen. Let's sing about peace, shall we?
1, 2, 4, 6. Push that one out, Sif.